Welcome to the State of the Biz. Today we are talking about the benefits of using virtual assistants in your business. My name is Richie Scola. I am here with Brian Zacharias. We are HomeSource. We operate over 4,000 single-family homes across 16 markets in the Southeast and the Midwest. A couple of years ago, we started integrating virtual assistant support into our business model, and I thought it would be great to share with the audience today and discuss some of the benefits that we've seen. So, Brian, you're in the trenches with the team, and you're really in tune to a lot of the things that we've experienced positively from utilizing virtual assistants. So start us off. What are some of the things that come top of mind for you that we've seen as a positive impact here using them?
Sure. First off, thanks for having me again. I love being on the show. Here. It's the best part of my day. But I think the first thing that we realized and we've evolved is we originally were using them for more of a time saver, right? So saving our team in the office their time in admin type functions as far as data entry, things like that, auditing information. Real simple tasks, but then we've kind of evolved now as we see the benefit of that in the capability of these virtual agents, and with more training, they just become an extension of your office, and they give you a lot of added value outside of just saving your team in the office time. So, but that's the first one. It saves us a tremendous amount of time
and through
here
to that
ancillary tasks.
I think one of the things you really uncovered early on was like if we for us, as we gave them a defined process with a procedure behind it, we found that direction, I guess, just like anybody in an office somewhere, but in particular with the virtual assistants doing those administrative support duties, it really was pretty effective.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once you give them the clear task and define that. So we started with two, right? Just two that were full-time. They were with us a few years. And what we realized is that team is a close network. They actually work together themselves offline. They're a group, and they will take those processes, and anybody you add to the team from there, they'll work together to implement that and make sure that there's consistency. So they will take our processes and actually make them better, which is great. It's been phenomenal to see because they're that in tune with wanting to do a great job for whoever it is, HomeSource, whoever the person or company that is that they're working for. So that's what we've noticed. So that
really gives us scalability.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, scalability. So now you train them, and now we're evolving into the point where we're taking certain disciplines in the business and assigning groups or individuals to those disciplines, one-on-one with somebody from our staff in the office that has the experience, and training them up, and then leveraging them to be. And we'll get into some of these other topics, but really we've taken, since we've done property management, we're using them as basically a resource for us to field phone calls and communications from our residents. And as we train them more, we get more one-on-one, one-and-done type solutions, which is what people want, right?
And it gives us that.
I call and you give us the response I want. You give me an answer.
24/7,
24/7, always.
Yeah, which is great.
That's been one of the biggest things, I think, is you can really leverage that resource to broaden your scope without having a big financial impact. It's very efficient, cost effective to leverage them, and then you just overlap schedules. So there's always coverage, and they hand off to whoever's on shift next. So we're literally 24/7 available to give you a response as a resident to serve you.
Yeah, and we've heard that, and it's proven in our Google reviews and Yelp reviews. People are like, hey, I'm so glad I was able to get somebody on the phone when I needed them, albeit after hours or on weekends or holidays. So that 24/7 coverage, and those virtual assistants are they're teammates of HomeSource, and they work for us solely. And, so they're an extension of our team. So they love that. It's been a real great thing to give that resident experience.
Yeah. And what we're doing is, since they're resident facing, which they're all interacting with residents and things like that, is it also allows us to have more productivity in the office, as far as like looking at really the fine-tuned things that we want to keep in-house to, make sure that we're doing the right thing by our investors and our owners, and looking deep into like renewals and making sure that we're setting the right increases for the resident and the owner, things like that. We're really able to fine-tune and dive into real deep analytics from a property management standpoint while we manage them and let them do their thing to keep our residents satisfied.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? To make sure we're giving that good resident experience at the same time, being attentive to the maintenance and repairs issues that need to be addressed.
You can get if you're looking for a certain skill set, you can find that too. They're highly educated, like they're
I think all 7 of the team members we have are all bachelor's degree plus, very well versed,
in some form of residential experience.
Excellent at even they've actually documented processes for us. As things evolve, every quarter we look at our core processes. But just some of the other ancillary processes that are going on day to day in the business, they are great at just documenting any changes to what the original game plan would have been on any given day in any process.
And I think, like anybody, you still have to have somebody kind of keep a finger on the pulse and manage their time and make sure that they have tasks, and they'll look for tasks. But, at the end of the day, to your point, if we don't train them and give them the proper tools, they complete a task, they're just sitting there waiting on a phone call. So the other thing we do is we have somebody really just looking at, what everybody's schedule is. And in the office, they bring, any type of task to this person, and we manage their schedules. So the nice thing is if you give them a one-off task, a one-and-done type project, we'll give that to them, give them a clear direction on it, and they'll actually track it, and they'll track who's doing each individual. We gave them 3,000 lines. They're going to tell you who did that specific line and when, and they work together to make sure that's complete as a unit, and then they'll come back and say, here, this is complete, and then we have an audit trail of, who did what, when they did it. And so in those gaps in coverage, if we have a slow, call time, they're in there doing that work, which is great.
So it's a tremendous time savings for us.
Very efficient. And you said it before, scalability. You know what I mean? So we, right now we have 7, but we could have 14. And, just like that, we're up and running and ready to go. So.
Yeah. And the great thing for us is as we, need those additional resources. Shout out to Riva Global. That's the group that we work. I get nothing for that. I just wanted to give them a shout out because it's been a great experience.
Great. Yeah.
Bob LaChance, great job. But they've been, we call them up. We give them, a good outline and job description of what we're looking to fill the gap on. And they've been dynamite at helping us do that over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and they're partners really with us, and they do the same. So we have ultimately the ability to manage them. So we do the day to day. If we see any issues, we have those conversations. But they also have a manager for this instance, Riva Global. But I presume all of the players have the same thing. So we'll talk to that manager, and it's a real great relationship, and it's been huge for us, and we're excited to continue to grow with the virtual agents, and then our staff here. So
and I don't know, have we had, if there was an instance where somebody that they provided was not a good fit, it's an easy process to say, hey, this wasn't the right fit. We needed somebody with this skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if
it's an easy plug
to get down
play.
to it, if you really wanted to just say, hey, you didn't work out, that's it, then you could do that.
Right.
Like that's possible. We'll usually give 1 or 2 opportunities, make sure we give the proper training, just like we did anybody else. But you can, if it's you don't need it anymore, or they're not performing, they're not a great fit, because you go through the same type of process. They'll give you candidates, you actually interview them, and then make a decision on who you take. And then, if you want to replace them at any given time, you can. It's very
in our
fluid.
business, as there's that bell curve of seasonality that comes, so we could reduce the workload during our heavy months of residents moving in, moving out, renewal. Everything is seasonality. So that enables us to to reduce the workload on our in-office staff and leverage our virtual assistants during those times, and it's been a phenomenal stopgap for us during that heavy season.
So, and to that point, and this is kind of the last thing I'll add, is you can get you can say we want somebody now and we only have 20 hours average, amount of work for them. You can get somebody for that. Right. And they may work for other people at the same time. So you get a certain schedule, but you can do that.
Or a specific project that had a certain defined timeline.
Yeah, you can. Exactly. And then if, like the ones we have, once these team members have been with us a long time. They're great high performers, self-starters, all of they check the box. You can work with, in this instance, again, Riva Global, to say, we want them exclusive.
Yeah,
we want them to be an extension of HomeSource. They fit our culture. We want them. We did that. We've got 4 of the 7 now, and we're working on the rest to get in. And they love that, right?
Yeah, well, they want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves.
And we make sure we have regular meetings and all that stuff to make sure that they feel like they are a part of the team. We use chat channels and teams for us that we have in each discipline. So our team's chatting with them, helping them out. So they're learning on the fly as well, real time. And, they're on the phone with the resident. Our team's able to help answer a question.
Awesome.
There's a lot of variables in this business. So it's tough to give a document, but that's been great. So they're on every morning. Good morning. When they leave, they're sad to go.
No,
because they love it so much.
Cool. All right. Well, Brian,
we love them.
I know.
I love you.
Well, Brian, thanks for being here, man. This is great. I thought this was really interesting because you hear more and more about how small the world is getting, right?
Yeah.
And we've had such a great experience with it. Wanted to kind of tell you out there the good that we've seen in utilizing virtual assistants. Hopefully that information is helpful for some of you folks. If you like the content, feel free to hit the like button. If there's something you'd love for us to talk about, feel free to put something in the comment section below, and we will talk to you the next time on The State of the Biz. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Rich.